Okay, so I'm about to show you just some easy ways to color correct and some tools you can use to help you color correct and how I would go about color correcting a clip. So first, obviously, you're going to want to select the clip you're about to correct. Go to Effects, Lumetri, and then go to Cinematic and then Cinespace 25. That's the one I usually like to use. You can go through and see that it has a basic correction option, which that helps you adjust your white balance. So there's a little dropper tool that you can adjust it there, or you can just manually go in and adjust your white balance. So that's really helpful when you want to adjust that. You can also use things like blacks and whites and saturation, which later on I'll show you a clip that I use saturation. So sometimes that just like brings life back into people's skin tones or something else that's happening around your clip. And once again, it's just a really easy and fast way to quickly change the white balance or adjust any things that may have looked good when you were doing them or when you were shooting them on your viewfinder, but you take it back and you realize it doesn't look quite how you like. You can also add a brightness and contrast effect to your clip. I really like this one. It really makes things pop. So when you go in and you adjust your brightness, you're obviously going to have to also adjust your contrast. And I always think that just makes colors look so vibrant and stand out. So I really like using that on most clips, honestly. Even if it looks fine, that just really like adds that nice, crisp look. And as you can see, it looks a lot better with the effect than without. You can kind of check it by just turning your effects on and off to see how it looked before, and then now with the color correction. So it looks a lot better. And this was actually shot on the FS7, so that's why it kind of looked like that. Then you're going to want to render it out. We're not going to render it out here, but you definitely want to do that so that it's nice and smooth. Then if you go to coloring, your coloring workspace, and you go to curves, you can adjust your curves. Mr. Edgar actually showed me how to do this. And basically, you want each of your curves to fall between the scale on the left-hand side of 0 to 100. You want them all to be pretty equal, and that will balance out the color. So you have your reds, your greens, your blues, and then your overall lighting, which is the white line. And so as you can see when I'm adjusting it, it's changing the lighting. This one will adjust the reds. So when you take out reds or add reds, you can see it change over here to the left. You can also do this with each color, and sometimes if you have like a really blue clip or a really red clip, it's really nice to adjust it, and that way it gets more specific than just the overall Cinespace 25 effect that kind of adjusts everything together. So now I'm going to add another clip that wasn't shot on the FF7, but it's just the colors aren't really like I wanted them to. I wanted those flags to really pop, and they weren't really doing that. So I'm going to try to adjust it. And as you can see, these colors are kind of peaking, kind of weird. I kind of want to adjust them where they're more even and where they're not just like crammed in one area. So when I take the blues and move the blues around, when I take out some of the red, you can even see it just really looks more lifelike and realistic now just by taking out that red, because it was a really red clip. This also helps you with your white balance. You don't have to use Cinespace 25. You can just use this to adjust your white balance. You can see that it looks a lot better, and those greens and the grass and sky look a lot better. But I'm actually still going to go in and use Cinespace 25 to adjust the saturation, because once again, I wanted those flags to pop. So if I do this, it'll really make those colors just stand out. And sometimes, see, I already adjusted the white balance, so I didn't really want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and, there we go, and take it back. And I'm going to increase my saturation. You can see it really makes those colors just stand out and those flags pop. But it's still a little green, it's still a little red, so I'm going to go in and adjust it, and you can really see how more lifelike it looks and how much better it looks when I go in there and take out some of those extreme colors. Take out that blue. There we go. And now you can adjust the brightness, and it just looks a lot better in my opinion. See, the grass looks a lot better. So I'm just going to show you before and after. I'm going to try to get it to where it's like a solid. So there you can see she's walking, and see how much better it looks. Actually, it's after and then before, not before and after, but you can still see the difference, and it just looks a lot better, and those colors just look a lot better. Much more eye-catching too. So that's basically what I do. I hope this helped. Just play around with it and see what looks best, and usually you can tell after playing around with it that it looks a lot better one way or another way. So that's just what I do. I hope it helps. See you guys later. Bye.